Autism. That goes to all the snowflakes who are pissed at me for using autism as an insult in my last video. Anyway, what's wrong with burping? Really, it's a legit question. I never got the stigma around burping. It's normal. I burp every day. I'm not afraid to admit that. I even fucking burp in my videos. And a lot of times I get comments on a lot of videos where I burp in them, and they're like, "Oh, you burp, that's disgusting," or "Don't burp in videos, that's unprofessional." Well, I don't give a shit about being unprofessional, but about the disgusting thing, I honestly never got that. I view burping as something completely normal and fine, and something we all do every day. I'm so sick of these fuckers who are like, "Oh, you burp, that is so disgusting." Don't fucking pretend that you never burped once in your life. Stop acting like it's something so disgusting, because I guarantee that you burp every single day of your life, just like everyone else on this planet. Again, it's something normal. It's nothing that's just completely out of the ordinary. And again, I never once got the stigma around it. Is it because of the sound? Is it because of the belch? I don't know. I've never personally been bothered with the sound, and if someone around me burps, then fine, whatever. I don't make a huge deal out of it because it's just a burp. It's just a release of air from the stomach. That's all it is. Just a release of air. It's nothing disgusting. It's nothing gross or anything. It's just that. Now, farting is a completely different story. Yes, it is a release of air, yeah, but that air fucking stinks, and it can smell really bad depending on the person. I don't know, some people's farts smell worse than others. Why am I even getting into this? But anyway, that I do have an issue with. So for those of you who like to rip massive farts around people just to piss them off and just so they could smell that shit, yeah, fuck you. Fuck you. But burping is a completely different story, since from what I know, burping doesn't have a scent. It's just a release of air. That's it. No smell, nothing. None of that bad shit. Burping is completely natural and should not be frowned upon. Try to take into consideration all the shit that I've said. Do your research on what burping actually is, and try to be like, oh, it's just a natural way of releasing air from the stomach, and it goes through your mouth and sometimes through your rear, and that's it. That's all. Maybe if you stop thinking it's so gross and icky and drop your stigma surrounding it, maybe it just won't be so bad anymore. You never know. And honestly, I see burping as kind of a compliment. Now you might be wondering what the fuck I mean by that. Alright, I'll explain. Let's say you had this big, nice dinner, or just ate something you really, really like, and then you belch right afterwards. That's probably a sign that you really enjoyed what you just ate. And if I made a dinner or a food or whatever, and someone ate it and then they belch right afterwards, I take that as they think what I made was really, really fucking good. I wouldn't say excuse you or manners or any of that. I wouldn't give a fuck. I'd probably just say thank you. And I've been scolded an insurmountable amount of times for burping throughout my life. Adults, kids my age, YouTube commenters, you name it. And I still don't give a fuck. I'm like, fuck you. I'm gonna burp anyway. I hate leaving the burp in, honestly. I just don't like doing that. I can't explain why. I just like just letting it out, releasing it. For me, I feel so fucking relieved after I burp because it just builds up and builds up and builds up, and you know it's coming. And then you just belch and let it all out. And I just don't get that satisfying feeling if I just hold it in. And honestly, I get even more satisfied if someone around me is like, "Oh, excuse you," or "That's disgusting," or anything along those lines, because honestly, pissing people off is kind of fun sometimes, but I'm sure you already know that about me. Anyway, better out than in, I always say, to quote Shrek. Burping is only gross if you let it be gross, and if you drop your stigma around burping, then maybe it won't be so gross anymore, and take into consideration what burping is, what's the purpose of it, and stuff like that. And if you still find it gross even after watching this and taking into consideration everything I say, I guess nothing is gonna sway you and whatever, I guess. I'm calling it right now. I know I'm probably going to get some comments saying I have no manners, I'm a disgusting person, and shit like that. I don't give a shit. Post those comments all you want. It's not going to sway me. It's not going to change my mind. It's not going to make me stop burping. I do whatever the fuck I want because I am me, and I don't give a shit what other people think. There we go. I feel so much better now. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Bye-bye.